Hey, Mega Moms, Jessica Hensley here with Real Estate Mega Moms, where we help moms create a life and a business that they love. And Stephanie and I are going to be talking about summer vacations, summer schedules with kids, and how we're navigating that with our micro team. Stephanie runs a family micro team, and I run a non-family micro team. And we're going to talk about kind of pros and cons of both of those situations. And even if you're not a team leader, maybe you're a solo agent, or you run a regular team, this is still a good one to listen to just to see a different perspective. I believe that solo agents can easily build micro teams. We kind of wrote a book about it, micro team mega results. We coach about it. So I just want to talk about the power of this model and why we're in love with it and why it's going to allow both of us to take vacations and spend some extra family time with our kiddos this summer. Okay, Steph. So do you have any big plans this summer?
Well, let's see here. This summer, I know that I go to a conference in July. And then my son goes to a church camp, which I'm super excited about because mom and dad get a little break. And then he also gets to take some time to learn more about Jesus, which I absolutely love. Like, it's the best time. Like, I know he's taken care of, he's learning amazing things. And then over 4th of July, we normally do something together as a family, but we really haven't made any plans, and that's kind of a bummer because I know everything's filled up. So what about you?
So really, we don't have a lot of plans this summer because we're building a house, but we are going to Branson. We typically go to Branson at least once a year with our friends. So we're actually leaving on Thursday. We'll be gone for a couple days. I think 3 days. And then I was just gone for my business yesterday because we did our follow-up appointment for Henry's surgery that he had. So I was gone all day that day. And I was just reflecting and sharing with you, like, all of this business got done. I had listings, appointments booked, listings taken, actually listing agreement written for somebody, and photos scheduled. I had a contract written yesterday. I had showings scheduled. Like, I had full blown lots of business going on yesterday, but I was able to take the day and I took my niece and Henry to Kansas City. We went to the doctor. So we went to IKEA. And y'all have been holding out on me. IKEA has some really good cookies. So I'm just saying, I had no idea. And then we went to Bass Pro and just, enjoyed our day, and I wasn't bombarded with phone calls. Yes, there was a few texts and notifications coming through that I could see, and so that was great because I knew things were being taken care of. I could see my team responding, and it just made me so thankful. And not that I have to remember, but it reminded me of why I just love the micro team model, and I thought we could talk about it a little bit today. So yeah, go ahead, Steph.
I was going to say, I absolutely love that, Jess, because, even like when you're out of town, like even for Mega Mom, and you're able to take off and watch Mega Moms be taken care of. I love that for you, that you're able to take that time off.
Yeah, because we all know, one of the things we talk about with our moms of why they should go through the program and start a micro team is you can actually go on vacation without your laptop glued to your hip. I know before I had this model, before I really dialed in these positions, I felt like when I was on vacation, when I was out of the office, that something was going to fall apart. I was going to miss an important phone call. I had to, be glued to my phone or glued to my computer. And, kind of living out of a fear-based mindset, really, and just not able to really unplug and enjoy. And we only have a few more summers. Henry's 12, and I was thinking he's probably gonna get a job when he's 14. So I like realistically have this summer and maybe next summer, if I'm lucky, to spend a lot of extra quality time with him. And then he's going to be like too cool for mom, I think. So I hope that's not the case. You moms of older kids, tell me I'm wrong, but um when I'm seeing other people, it's like I'm just trying to prepare myself so and also soak in every moment while I can. So it's important for me to be able to take off. And Henry and I have already made plans this summer. We're going to see some family, and we're doing special days. My goal is to do at least 2 days a month that we're just unplugged during the week because I don't want to take away from his time with his dad on the weekends, and both of us. I want to spend time with my husband too on the weekends. And so I don't want to, steal Henry away on a Saturday or Sunday. So during the week is our plan. And anyway, how are we doing this with the micro team? So Steph, I know there is a little bit of a downside to having a family micro team, although I don't think you do it any other way, but you guys do have to, or let me ask you, do you feel like you have to be totally on call? How do you handle that when you go out of town?
Well, we are so blessed in our community that if we're going to take off to go out of town, we're so blessed with our brokerage that we typically will pay someone when we're out of town. That if Jacob and I and Brad are going to go out of town on vacation together, which it does happen like once or twice a year because we like to vacation together as a family, is like the best. We typically will pay someone to take our business while we're out of town, and we'll still take calls. Like typically, it's funny because when we're on vacation, like Brad and I, Jacob will pull straws. Like who's gonna take the calls for this? Like, is it tonight? Like, is it you, Jacob? Is it Brad or I? But like when we're out of town, we'll have someone from our brokerage that will show the houses or whatever the case is. So yeah, unfortunately, we don't have anyone else that we're leaving here that is on our team because we don't want anyone else on the team. We don't have any other buyers agents or anyone else that will take the business. So that is the one downfall from not having any other agents. So yeah,
Yeah.
we typically we're on EXP. So we have an amazing setup where we'll just like text the group and we'll say who's in town and who will cover. And we've always had someone step up. So
Nice.
it's a blessing. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a tip. I think if you're a solo agent or you don't have maybe your family team like Stephanie, if you don't have someone locally, or if you don't have an employee, I should say, that you just have a go-to like I do, ask your brokerage, ask around, see if somebody can help you. And I think the key on that is probably setting the proper expectations of here's what I would need you to do, here's how I do it, here's maybe contact information for listings, let's say, and this is what I'm compensating. And just I think that's important for any position that you have, is making sure that you are setting the right expectations. And that's a breakdown that I see 9 times out of 10 with team leaders, whether it be with agents, employees, or what have you. It's just like, oh, you need help. I want to help. And there's not clear guidelines set aside. And so that just leaves so much room for misunderstanding, miscommunication. And it's not if it's going to happen. It's like, how is it going to happen and how severe is it going to happen? Because it will happen. If you don't outline it, you're going to have misunderstandings.
Yeah, I totally agree. We do go through the expectations and we make sure we pay very well. And then on the flip side of it, when they're out of town, we make sure that we're the first ones that will step up and help them when we're out of town. And we make sure we do that for the really good agents. So that way, those really good agents are the ones that will step up and help us.
Yeah.
So I think that's something, especially Brad. Brad is one that will be the first one that will step up and help others all the time. It's actually kind of exhausting, but it really, really helps us when we're out of town because those people are always willing to stand up and help us because Brad's always been the first to help them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad is such a good guy, and I can see that. Just always willing to help. So what we do is, I mean, we run this way anyway. Pretty much the only time that I I don't want to make it seem like I don't do anything in my business, because I do a lot. I know I personally work harder than anybody else on my team. And I think that that is important, if you're a team leader, that you don't have the mindset where, oh, I'm just going to leave all of the grunt work to team members and I'm too good. Like, that is absolutely not the case in our team scenario. I will gladly pick up any person's job if it's necessary, if it's needed, especially if we have to revamp it and we have to, just make sure, tweak it, make sure everything's going, because you do have to spot check, you do have to audit, you do have to, step into each role on occasion. But my primary role on the micro team is to go on the listing appointments, go on the buyer consultations, and to negotiate for my clients. So writing an offer that is going to be to the advantage of my client, spotting problems that could come up and getting ahead of those, having open lines of communication with the other agent so that we work really well together and we're not sabotaging the deal, and just being creative and getting solutions. So that's primarily, and then I also do, of course, market research and, make sure our team is getting ourselves out there in the marketing front, learning from agents. And I will say one of my favorite masterminds to go to is with our brokerage with EXP. By the way, if you're EXP curious, Stephanie and I would love to talk to you. In fact, right after this podcast, we're going to be hosting a call for our downline. So once a week, we host a call for everybody in our downline, and we're just there to help them and support them and brainstorm with them on how they can be successful. And each person in our downline has a lot of access to our courses, to us, and so there's a lot of support. So if you're EXP curious, and you also are interested in micro teams, like, we might just be the perfect fit for you. So let me know on that. We can book a call. I will put that in the show notes as well. But that being said, I was just listening, Stephanie, to the mastermind for the Fast Forward Movement, and they were talking about some really great guarantees that you can offer with your listings and strategies on how to get more listings. So those are the things that I'm spending my time on. I know my highest and best use of my time is how can we improve our efficiencies as a team? How can we improve our service? How can we get more business? And what's not the best use of my time is checking files and necessarily making sure the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed and ordering inspections. And those things my team can handle, and they're amazing at it. So all of those things are handled by my team. And what I love about it too is when I do go either before or after vacation, I feel like my schedule ends up being really packed. And I like it because it's like I'm full today. I'm full with listing appointments and showings and a closing all this afternoon. Tomorrow I have a full day. And so effectively this week I'm working 2 days because I went to Kansas City Monday for Henry, and then we're going to Branson Thursday and Friday and Saturday. And I have no doubt that our business is going to continue to move forward and things are going to keep on running like a well-oiled machine.
I keep trying to hit unmute, and I don't even know what I'm pressing there. But I love that everyone's doing what they're good at, and that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Our team is set up the exact same way, and I think that at the beginning, everyone's kind of running around and trying to figure out what they're good at. But now that we're each, everyone's doing what they're supposed to, and that's what the micro team is about. And especially when you are away, like you said, everyone's kind of doing what they're supposed to, and you're going to be able to come back and do exactly what you're supposed to be doing again. It's running without you, and that's what the micro team is all about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think we should do part 2. So moms, go ahead and hang in there or tune into the next episode, because the next one I would like to talk about what are the positions. Maybe you can break down the different positions you have within your team as a family team with your husband, wife, and then you added your son. And I think that's kind of the dream, to work with your husband, to be on the same page with your business goals, your personal goals. Like there's so many advantages to it. So let's talk about that in the next episode. So moms, stay tuned. And again, message below or comment below, look in the show notes if you want to book a call with us, either about one of our coaching programs, about how to run a micro team, or about joining us with this amazing brokerage at eXp Realty.
Yeah.